Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have this 2023 Infiniti QX55 and we're going to do the side chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how the side panels look like before the installation, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material to black out the panel and also to match the colors of the pillars. If you like the product, link for the product will be linked below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before we start with the installation, make sure to prep each section of the panel that's going to be worked on. So all you need is baby shampoo and water mixed together in a spray bottle. Once you have your solution, spray it onto a clean microfiber towel and make sure to remove any contaminants that each panel may have. And then once you're done cleaning each panel, make sure that everything's completely dry as well. That way the adhesive on the film is able to tack down to the panel and it doesn't lift over time. Okay, so we're going to start by installing the front top piece of the panel first. So when you're installing this one, the same procedures that are done for this installation, you will do the same for this one. Of course, the design is slightly different, but when it comes to the steps on how to go about it, these two are both the same. Same with the bottom two. The same steps you will repeat for the rear piece. And then once you're done with those, you would move on to the quarter window. So when it comes to aligning the top, what you can do is place the film to the chrome panel on this side. That way it stays and you're able to use both hands and work on this section first. So with this one, align it right on the edge. You make sure when you align it, you're covering the chrome and just follow the design as you go. Make sure when you're around this area where the window is located that you give yourself a little bit of material to cover the curve here and enough material to cover the chrome on top here. So just align it as you go. You can always lift the film and adjust it. Just be careful not to lift the film too hard because you might accidentally tear it. So just follow the design as you go until you reach it to the edge here. So once you place the film, grab your squeegee, start tagging it down. The main thing to do here is to make sure you remove any air that may be trapped underneath the panel. So just squeegee everything. And then once you're done tagging down everything, we're going to apply heat just to help the film tack down to the panel more faster. Okay, so now grab your heat gun, apply heat to the entire panel. That way the film is able to start molding to the curve of the design of the panel that you're working on. And then once you apply heat, trim off excess material wherever you see it. So when it comes to tucking in the film on the top section of the panel, there is a gasket. That gasket, you can move it a little bit to the side, grab your squeegee and tuck in the film inside in order to cover the chrome panel. So you would do it for the whole panel if you want to cover the top, but if you don't want to cover the top, you can always just insert your blade right on the gap and trim off the excess material. So there's two ways to going about. The only thing, if you do tuck in, it may take long. Everything will get covered, so it'll be optional to you guys. And if you would happen to have excess material on this section where the mirror is located, what you can do with this one is you can lift the plastic film carefully and just tuck in the film as you go. So just like that, tuck it in. That way you don't have to use your blade to trim off the excess material. Everything could go just tucked in underneath. So as you can see, everything was tucked in, no trimming required, and you should be good. Now you could trim off any excess material you have on the edge and anywhere where you have excess material on the top or bottom. And now we move on to the bottom piece. Okay, so now we're moving on to this bottom piece here. So just place the film to the chrome panel. That way you can use both hands and align the film to this section of the panel. Align it there. Make sure you have coverage on the top and on the bottom, just like that. And carefully lift the film and just follow this lower section in order to align the film to the chrome panel. So just like that, once you tack it down, grab your squeegee and start tacking down the whole film. Make sure to remove any air bubbles that are underneath the film. And then we're going to apply heat in order to help the adhesive activate faster. And then we'll trim off the excess material. Okay, everything's tacked down. Now apply heat. Okay, so when you're trimming off the material for this side, just find the outline of where the chrome panel is ending. So you can create the outline with your finger, into your blade, and trim off the material. And then apply heat to help it tack down since the film was lifted when you removed the excess material. And then you do the same for the top here. Make sure to create an outline with your finger. That way you could determine where the chrome panel is ending and the rubber gasket starts. So wherever that starts, that's where you enter your blade and trim off the excess material carefully. So outlines created, carefully enter your blade and trim off excess material. Once you finish trimming off all the excess material, apply heat one more time to tack everything down, and then just move on to the rear door. And then once you're done with the rear door, quarter window. So now we're moving on to the quarter window trim. So with this one, place the film for now there. Place the other two here. Have the door open. That way you're able to have more room to work with. We're going to start by aligning this section of the film to the edge of the panel here. So lift it carefully and just make sure you align it to where you give yourself a little bit of extra material in order to cover the top section and the lower section of the curve here. Once you have it aligned, lift it carefully just to double check and see if everything's going to be aligned. So place the film, align it on the bottom, use the lower half as the guide, place it down, now do the top, lift the film carefully, help it tack down on the curve here, and then follow the design as you go. Make sure you're covering the chrome on the bottom, so if you need to realign it, lift it carefully to realign it. So that should be good. Grab your squeegee, start tacking everything down, and just be careful if you have a finger, like for example this one here, squeegee at an angle like this. You don't want to squeegee towards the finger because you might accidentally crease it, so that's very important. So just squeegee at an angle to remove those deep fingers. And you can also use heat in order to help shrink the fingers. And then just finish off tacking down the rest. Make sure to remove any air that's underneath the film. And for this part here, because it is a small deep design here, we're going to need to apply heat in order for the film to tack down and not lift over time. So grab your heat gun, apply a little bit of heat, and then when you see that you apply heat, the film starts to shape, and just use your finger to help it tack down. And just do the same for this section here. Once you secured this whole middle section here, now we can apply heat to the rest of the film. That way the film starts tacking down to the design of the panel that was being worked on. And then once you finish applying heat everywhere, then we can remove any excess material. Okay, now that we've finished adding heat all over the panel, all we need to do now is remove all the excess material we don't need. So you're gonna have excess material on top here, on this section here, and perhaps maybe up here too, depending on how it was aligned. So remove it here, remove it on this edge, and remove a little bit from here. So just remove wherever you see the excess material, just depending on where you have, and then once you're done, you move on to the door handle. And with this one, the top and the bottom, there is a gap between the two caskets that is located on the top and the bottom. You just enter your blade and trim off the excess material. So when it comes to installing the film to the chrome section of the door handle, all of them are the same. The only different one is the front driver's side. And the reason being is because this one has the keyhole right here, the rest do not. So same installation, the only different one is this one. So when you're installing each door handle, just align it to the cutout where the button is located, and then just place it as you go. Lift it and place it, and make sure everything's being covered on the top and on the bottom. Once you have it tacked down, grab your squeegee to start securing the entire film. And then for this section of the keyhole, you're going to apply heat. Once you applied enough heat, we're going to insert it That way it covers most of the inside of the keyhole here. So apply heat, and you're going to apply a good amount of heat. That way the film loses the tension it has here in the middle. Let the film cool down, and then with your finger, just press inside, and then it should start tacking down. Just like that. And just apply heat one more time, just to secure it, that way it doesn't lift. And then you would just apply heat everywhere else to help the adhesive activate and helping the film mold to the design of the door handle. And then you would trim off any extra material that you may have, like on the top, on the edge. Just create the outline of where the chrome panel is located, trim off, and then you're good. And then once you're done installing this one, you would install the last piece. For this last piece, just make sure you align it to this section of the curve. So align it there. Place the film to cover the rest of the panel, and then just align it to the top here. And that should be it, full coverage. Just apply heat now in order for the film to tack down, and then trim off any extra material, and you should be good. So the last thing to do once you finish with the whole installation is to pulsate the entire panel that was worked on for the side trim. So just grab your heat gun and apply heat to the entire panel that was worked on. Make sure to take your time, go to each section, make sure to apply heat evenly so we can help the adhesive activate faster. And once you're done with this step, you're done with the installation. So make sure you take your time going section by section. Thank you for choosing Bogar Tech Design. As a small business, your support means everything to us. If you loved your product, please drop a review. If you have questions or issues, don't forget to message us via email. Once again, thank you so much for the support from our family to yours. So that concludes the installation video for the side chrome delete installation for the 2023 Infiniti QX55. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.